To be honest bro, I'm tired of the same drawing exercises that I see everywhere online. Don't get me wrong, drawing boxes on boxes and lines and poses, it's all useful stuff. But I remember when I was just starting out, going from YouTube video to YouTube video, trying to find something that made me get better, and always finding the same exercises. Like, bro, I already know that, I want something new. Today I'm here to tell you 3 exercises that are different from the usual ones, that helped me get where I am now. Being able to do a full 80 pages illustrated art book in only 3 months, and having little to no struggle. By the way, the pre-sale of my course from Stuck to Creative Machine is out, more on that later. Now the first exercise is not an actual exercise, but it's a little shift on your drawing session, and if you only did this from the whole video, it will still be so much helpful, and it will be enough to change the way you draw. Now what I'm talking about is only draw with ink. Now, you don't have to be so much drastic that you just stop drawing with your pencil and only draw with ink for many reasons. One of them is that it's overwhelming and you're not gonna be able to do it at the beginning. But there is a softer way that you can take to go from pencil to full ink. Now, first off, why would you do this? This is gonna help you so much because it's gonna tell your brain that you cannot erase, so you're gonna make less mistakes. You also won't do the scratchy lines that you always do with your pencil, but you're gonna do clearer lines with your ink, and you're also gonna draw faster because you're skipping the pencil step and you can just draw with your ink directly. Now this is the softer way that you can go about it. It is divided in 3 steps. The first step that you have to do is to draw from references. You already know that, but this time you really have to copy. You pick up a reference, you get your ink and you copy it without using pencil. So without base structure, without the usual head structure that we've always done, just lines. Copy, and really copy, so your brain understands how shapes work, and it also gets used to the feeling of not being able to erase, to not have the base structure to back you up. Now, once you're confident with that, you can move to the second step, the second phase. You still have to copy references, but now you can add something yours. For example, you copy now character's head, you can add the helmet with the horns, you can add a couple of details like a mask or whatever you want to add, something that comes from imagination, and that is gonna change the way the reference is. Third stage is finally be able to draw from imagination. Don't use your references anymore, you draw directly with ink, whatever you wanna do. You can use references, but you're not copying them. You are just taking inspiration like you do when you use pencil. This is not an easy and fast thing. I would suggest you to take months. This is not an easy stuff. If you wanted the easy stuff, you could just go to the draw lines video, and that's completely fine. But here, we wanna achieve real goals, and it's not easy. You have to do these hard exercises that are gonna get you better in the long run. By the way, good job if you're still here, bro. This means that you're really serious about your art and you have my respect. Now, if you're feeling stuck and you want more exercises to produce some actual good art and maybe get out of your art block and finally be able to commit to the project, my program from Stuck to Creative Machine is really built for you, because I literally hold your hand, going through every scenario that may be holding you back right now, and finding clear solution with practical steps and actionable steps that are gonna get you 100% unstuck, gonna get you better at drawing, and you can finally work on that project that has been on your mind for so long. Also, the good news for you is that it's on pre-sale, so you can grab it for more than 50% off, so go get that now before the price increases after I'm gonna post it. Now, the next exercise is fun, engaging, and always different. It's like a video game with small different levels that you can beat like in a couple of hours. Now, I call this the random study. Now, what you have to do for the session is pick an object. For example, you want to study elephants, or you want to study cars, something that you have never studied. I've drawn cars in the past, but I've never studied them, so I've always used 1,000 references and I don't have a mental library for it. Now, what you have to do for these random studies is gain enough references for the object that you chose, and then you start studying it, you start copying it, you start interpreting it, you start getting more comfortable with the shapes that compose it. It is so good because you're gonna learn something new every time, and a good thing that is gonna motivate you so much is that you're gonna be a novice at the beginning. Like, you're not gonna know what you're doing, because if you're studying cars that you've never drawn cars before, it's gonna be so hard. But if you continue drawing, you're gonna get so much better in a short amount of time, because you're gonna go from 0 experience to, for example, 10 experience out of 100. And the progress that you make as a novice when you're doing something at the beginning are so big and are gonna motivate you so much, because before the study you couldn't draw cars, and after the studies you can finally kind of draw cars. And if you do a second side, you're gonna be so much better and even better and even better. Now, this last exercise is the one that maybe really made it for me, because after I did this, many people told me that my art was so much clearer, it looked so much confident, and overall I could even draw faster. Now, this exercise is drawing using fewer lines possible. Now, this is gonna be hard, especially if you're a total beginner, because I see many beginners, they go over the same lines 10 times and they do scratchy lines and all of that. Especially if you're a beginner, it's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be so much useful. It's gonna change the way you draw. I'm not just gonna tell you to draw fewer lines and that's it. I'm gonna actually tell you how to do it. Now, again, you pick references. It's always the base for everything. You pick reference of what you want to draw. It could be literally whatever, an object, a person, a pose. Start easy though, like start with shapes, start with a mug, something that is really easy to draw. And you actively try and draw it with fewer lines possible. I don't mean do the one line challenge where you draw a whole thing with just one line, but use really precise, confident lines and not scratchy and fast ones. Practice this freely without time, and then use a timer. For example, timed pose, it will really made it for me, because I used to put 90 seconds or 180 seconds and draw the pose with fewer lines possible without erasing, so I knew that the lines were permanent. That really made my art so much clearer and more confident. Now, what I just gave you was real value in these 3 exercises, but if you want more, feel free to check my program once again. Once it comes out, it's gonna help you so much. Right now, as I said, it's on pre-sale, so you can get it for more than 50% off. I hardly suggest you to at least go have a look, because it's gonna be so helpful to get unstuck and finally work on your projects. But if you really don't wanna check it, that's fine too. You can just watch this video that is gonna help you get out of your procrastination and finally start drawing. Start following me if you're serious about your art, and see you in the next one.